I think about how important this prayer that Jesus prayed. He prayed, Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. Yet not what I will, but what you will. It's Thursday night. It's been a busy night, and Jesus is thinking about the crucifixion tomorrow. A lot had gone on already. He shocked his disciples by washing their feet. He changed Passover from what they had known for forever to the Lord's table. And then, so it was like the last Passover, the first communion. And now the 11 and Jesus have gone to the garden. The glory of God's grace and salvation of the world. But you know what, beloved? Nothing in Jesus' experience comes close to the description of what he's going to pray. He offers up prayers of supplication. He's got loud cries in agony. And he continues to pray. Jesus was praying. And many times he had been in desolate places, but not like this. Jesus looked deeply into the Father's cup he was about to drink, and he was terrified. Everything in his human flesh wanted to flee the impending physical torture of crucifixion. And the dread that was far greater, the separation, the spiritual torture of being forsaken by his Father. That is where Jesus is at this moment, this Maundy Thursday. Luke writes he withdrew about a stone's throw away and knelt down and prayed, Father, if you are willing, remove this cup from me. Nevertheless, not my will, but yours be done. And there appeared to him an angel from heaven to strengthen him. And he, being in agony, he prayed more earnestly, and his sweat became like drops of blood falling to the ground. Before the angel came to strengthen him, Jesus had prayed that the cup would be removed, the cup of God's wrath. But the angel came, strengthening him for what? To do what he came to do. In other words, the angel is God's response to Jesus' first prayer. The angel bears God's message that there is no other way, but I'll help you. Don't turn from your mission now. I know it's terrifying. I'll help you. Here's my angel to give you strength. But Jesus continues to pray, my Father, if this cannot pass unless I drink it, your will be done. This is the greatest act of obedience in the history of the world. He saw the wrath of God, and he embraced it because it was the Father's will. Can we even imagine? I don't think that we can. But if he wouldn't have done it, he was looking at the cup. And he actually was praying for the success to be able to drink it. And if Jesus had not been obedient unto death, he would have been swallowed up by death. There would be no resurrection. There would be no salvation. No future glory world filled with the glory of God's grace and God's children. And you know what? Just a mile away in the high priest's courtyard, his treacherous, betraying disciple was preparing to lead a small army of soldiers to that garden. I think Jesus is struggling in his human nature. And no human has suffered more in embracing the will of the Father than God the Son. And when Jesus calls us to follow him, whatever the cost, he is not calling us to do something he is either unwilling to do or has never done himself. That's why we look at Jesus as the author and perfecter of our faith. He is our great high priest who understands far better than we do what it's likely to willingly and faithfully endure something excruciating for the sake of God's glory, the eternal glory set before us. And now Jesus is interceding for us. So this Maundy Thursday, we join God the Son in praying to God the Father, your will be done. And if we find in our body and soul, we wish God's will for us could be done away in a different way that we're thinking, but we pray like Jesus prayed, Father, all things are possible for you. Remove this cup from me. But only if we can also pray those 9 glorious, humble words, yet not what I will, but what you will. Because God's will for us, however painful now, will result in joy, inexpressible and full of glory and salvation of our souls. Jesus did succeed. There is salvation for all who believe. There will be a new world full of God's grace, God's glory, and God's children. And all of this is owing to this great prayer, yet not what I will, but what you will. Thank you, guys.